pancetta, mushroom, tortellini. You can eat smart, still fit in your bikini. I ordered Blue Apron, I've been happy ever since. They sent pre-portioned meals, I don't make no measurements. Saute the pancetta, then I add the mushrooms. Large skillet, cause you can't have too much room. Garlic pesto, tomato paste, Calabrian chili, season the taste. Order Blue Apron today.
The first major athletics championships of another busy year is here. Great Britain and Northern Ireland will be sending a team of 29 athletes to Poland to take part in 3 days of competition. I'm John.
And I'm Michael. It's a very strong lineup too. World record-breaking Olympic champion Keely Hodgkinson will compete in the 800 metres. 2025 1500 metre silver medalist Georgia Hunter-Bell on the team. Multiple world and Olympic medalist Josh Kerr will contest the 3000 metres. And one man is back aiming to defend the world indoor title he won 12 months ago.
There was one time, I think it was more in the summer, where I heard it and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So
Jeremiah Azu will talk to him shortly. This is Anything But Footy, where we talk about the Olympics and the Paralympics all the time, not once every 4 years. And we're springing into summer over the next few weeks with coverage of a number of big events, including the London Marathon, the boat races, British swimming and diving championships.
We haven't forgot snow and ice, though. More to come on those shortly. Our focus very much in this episode will be athletics, track and field. And as well as those names we've already mentioned, also in action this weekend, Dina Asher-Smith back at the World Indoor Championships for, I think it's the first time in a decade. 2024 World Indoor Champion Molly Caudry is in the team. And Amy Hunt, who won silver outdoors at the World Championships at the end of last year.
If you don't want to be a role model, then you remove yourself a bit more from the public eye and you don't say very much in interviews and you just crack on with your job. But for me, I'd love to be that inspiration.
We will round up the rest of the news from the games, including a busy weekend of road running and some winter sport as well, as Michael mentioned. This is Anything But Footy. Download, listen, follow. Follow us on our socials, pass it on to your friends and fellow Olympic fans. So plenty of big names to follow at the World Indoor Athletics, and this is the focus and the first of two special preview podcasts from Anything But Footy. And let's start with a focus on the sprints, because Jeremiah Azu is the reigning world champion. He's lowered his PB to 6.47 seconds in the past few weeks. Azu is currently tied on the season list with Brian Lavelle of Jamaica, who won a bronze over 200 metres last season, and Trayvon Bromell of the USA, who won it 10 years ago. But can Jeremiah beat the top two in the world this year? Jordan Anthony of the US and Jamaica's Kashane Thompson. Anthony's run 6.43 this season already, with Thompson clocking 6.46 a couple of days before. Michael has been speaking to Jeremiah to find out.
So you have a title to defend, not just a title, a world title to defend.
it's the title that I've always wanted, something I've always worked towards, something I've always dreamed of, being a world champion. So it's good to be on this side, defending it, trying to go 2 for 2.
And what's it been like this year being introduced as a world champion? Because not many people get that.
I haven't really been listening on the start line. I think I've been working on a lot in training. So like before the race, I'm always thinking about what I'm trying to do right. So I'm not really, taking in the announcement. I kind of just wait to hear my name and then do my own little thing. But yeah, there was one time, I think it was more in the summer, where I heard it and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So it was more on that side of it. And I was like, damn, it's pretty cool.
Because I had this conversation with Josh Kerr recently that you guys are obviously always looking forward to the next thing, the next medal, the next champs. Yeah. And actually you do sometimes need just to take a bit of time and reflect on what you have achieved. You're a world champion, Olympic medalist.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I forget, until like even just the Olympic medalist, I was like, oh yeah. Because we're so focused on, like you said, the next thing. But I think in my off season, I took time to really take it in. Because it was quite a good feat, I think if it was another athlete that was able to go 12 races unbeaten, all of them only being championships, I would have been like, wow, it's pretty cool. But I think naturally as humans and as athletes, because we're always kind of trying to downplay our own performances. But yeah, so I'm like, you just got me thinking about that now.
And when you look at that record from last year, 2025, British champion, European champion, world champion, fatherhood. I mean, it was quite the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, honestly, an incredible year. I said at the start of that year, I wanted it to be the best year of my life, and I think it has been so far. I think there's better years to come, but yeah, it was an incredible year. I think fatherhood topping the list by a mile. The range of emotions you get from having kids is unbelievable. But yeah, I wouldn't change any of it. And then to back it up with some decent running performances is great.
How has been being a dad? Has it changed things at all for you as a professional sports person as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think my training quality has been so much better because when I'm at the track, I'm so focused because I know these 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on the day, are vital. Because when I step away from it, I'm not gonna have time like I did in the past to get an extra little bit in here or there. So like I'm really maximizing my time at the track. And I think also another positive is once I do step away, I don't think about it until the next day. As a sportsman, our body is our tool. So you're always constantly judging yourself more than maybe someone would if like with an office job or something like that. And especially because it's as as unintentional as it is very personal, the criticism you get from, I don't know, like fans or whatever. So yeah, once I step away from the track, it's just full dad mode, being a good partner, trying to keep the house up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it's so much more relieving because my son doesn't see any of that. He just sees me for who I am. Just his dad. He just wants to see me, he wants to follow me around everywhere. Like he's at the age now that he knows when I'm leaving every day for training. So when I'm saying, before I even get to say bye, he'll get me to pick him up. And I'm like, okay, I've got to go now. So then when I put him down, he'll start crying because he knows I'm leaving. Like those moments are so special to me. And I get to experience that every day. So regardless of how I do on the track, it doesn't matter because the reward is waiting for me at home.
But it would be nice to bring another medal for the toy box back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think it allows me to do that better because I'm not overthinking that bit because I'm loved for who I am. So when I step on the track, I'm not trying to prove myself to my family. I think the only person I'm trying to prove myself to is myself almost because as much as they support me, regardless if I'm coming last, they'd be screaming the same way. They're just proud that I'm on the start line. They're proud that they get to see their name next to all these, wonderful athletes. But yeah, I want to go there and bring something else home.
It's interesting you use the word overthinking because I think of you as a thinker in the conversations that we've had, and we've had a few over the years. I think of you as being someone that really does think about their craft and what they do. So
Yeah.
when you approach a 60-meter race, can you have any thoughts during the race? Can there be any strategy, any tactics? What goes through your mind?
Not in the 60. In the 100, you can definitely think. 200, you've got loads of time to think. In the 60, all your thinking needs to be done before. And I think that's why it's so important to get into that muscle memory. And you rehearse that in training. I think that's why the 60 is so good because it's so cutthroat that honestly one step can change the whole race. So to be in a position where you know that you can step on the line and you can hit X time or you can race the way you want to race and how you feel is very good. And I think that comes from so much more pressure because there's less time. Um, so yeah, for me, all my thinking is done in the warm up on the start line before. I'm kind of just feeling out what my body feels, what I want to feel, how I want to push. And then once the gun goes, it's all autopilot. Definitely for the first 30 meters. Once you're up, naturally you can see what's going on. So you know if you need to push, if you can come off the gas a bit and stuff like that. But yeah, the first 30 is definitely like completely autopilot.
And when you're being defined in something that takes place between 6 and 7 seconds, how much of that is physical? How much of that is mental?
It's all mental. Not all. Let me
I
not be
couldn't do it, for
silly.
example. You physically, you are there.
Once you put all the talented people there, that's when it becomes mental because we're all talented, we're all fast. So it's who's got the mentality to actually go through with it. Yeah, because we've all trained hours and hours and hours. So it really does come down to a mental battle. Who can hold their nerve? Who believes they can actually do it is the one that's able to do it.
And we've got this really strong Great Britain and Northern Ireland team in Poland. What can this team do? Can they do something special in terms of medal returns with the names that are on that team sheet?
Yeah, I think so. I'm excited for the team. Um, it'll be nice because normally when you go to a champs, I'd have relay, so I don't really get to watch. But I'm done on the first day, so I get 2 days of just watching athletics, and I love athletics, so it's going to be nice to go down, support my teammates, and see some pretty good running from some British athletes. Yeah.
And will momentum be important? You getting things off to literally a flyer, will that show the others the way?
I hope so. I hope so. I think we're the first final, so yeah, hopefully I can set the path for the rest of the team. But we've got some phenomenal athletes that don't even need that. Yeah, so but it'll be a good chance. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm almost like just want to get there now. All the training's done, all the hard work's done. Now it's just time to express myself on the track, and that's for me the easiest part because I enjoy that bit the most.
Well, we enjoy watching you as well. And I love speaking to you too. So thanks
I
for your
appreciate
time.
that. Thank you. Thank you.
Jeremiah Azu speaking to Michael. In the women's 60 metres, a very strong-looking British team featuring Dina Asher-Smith and Amy Hunt. Now, Dina won the British title in a time of 7.02 seconds, just shy of her national record, with Amy finishing second. Two athletes share the world lead this season, Julian Alfred of St. Lucia and Italy's Zainab Dosu, who both ran sub 7 seconds this year. Alfred is the Olympic 100-metre champion, of course, and also won gold in Glasgow in 2024. Italy have enjoyed a great year of sport so far, finishing high up the medal table at both the Winter Olympics and the Paralympics, and it's also where Amy is based for training. And here she is chatting from her home in Padova to Michael.
I've been watching your vlogs recently. I watched the most recent one today. And I want to talk to you about joy and happiness. How important is being happy and displaying joy with what you do?
I think this is one of the biggest themes for my 2026 so far, is that I've just been filled with so much joy. I keep waking up every morning and just texting my best friend or my family and just saying, I just feel so incredibly happy. I'm so happy with the life that I've made. I'm so happy with the training that I'm doing. I'm just so incredibly imbued with happiness right now. And I think it's definitely showing up in every aspect of my life. And it's been such an amazing thing. So yeah, I think especially being able to share that joy with people. And I think someone commented on the vlog saying, oh, your happiness and your joy on this video has made me put on my trainers and go out for a run. And if that happens to one person, then that's amazing. So yeah, hopefully it's infectious for everyone.
Well, I wanted to say exactly that to you because I have a 13-year-old daughter. She goes to running club for no other reason than she just enjoys running around the field with her friends. But when they go to their running club, it's you they want to be because it's you that they recognize. They consume their track and field through Insta stories, through TikTok, and actually your theatrical winks, your pouts and everything that you do is what they want to copy, but you've got the medals to back it up as well.
I think that's just always been me. So I think sometimes people will say like, oh, did you plan on saying this? Or did you plan to pose like this? And it's like, I don't plan any of that. Like I plan to come out the blocks a certain way, but I don't plan on what's going to happen as soon as I cross that line. So I think that's maybe what people resonate with is the fact that it feels so authentic because it is so genuinely me. Like I think it's we're now seeing the rise of like the quote unquote Gen Z athletes. So it's nice to see that there's me and a few other people in my kind of age group that are pushing forward with this new brand of authenticity and originality. And it's just great to see because we're all showing that you can be amazing, but you can have fun. You can be a world champion and do it with a massive smile on your face. So.
And when they say to me, oh, Dad, have you met the academic badass, the track goddess? Is it important? Yes. Is it important to you that young athletes want to be like you, want to follow in your footsteps?
Definitely, because I grew up having so many amazingly strong female inspirations. I grew up massively in the London 2012 era, and I had a big poster of Jess Ennis on my wall. And I always used to look up to Alison Felix, to Serena Williams, to Naomi Osaka. So for me, it feels so incredible to be such a role model. And it's something that I really take pride in, because I think it's something that you also have to actively choose to be. If you don't want to be a role model, then you remove yourself a bit more from the public eye, and you don't say very much in interviews, and you just crack on with your job. But for me, I'd love to be that inspiration for other people, and for people to take something away, even if it's just for people to watch my race and it fills them with happiness. Like, at the end of the day, I understand my job as one of a performer and as sort of somewhat gladiatorial. So I'm there in the arena, and I'm providing this entertainment. People are paid to see me. People are paid for their food and their drinks, and they're there to watch me compete. And I love competing so much. So I hope that that's infectious to them in the audience, and we all can have a great time together, because it's at the end of the day, it's one big show every single night. It's a huge show, and we're all just the characters on the stage.
It's a brilliant attitude. You're not going to change, are you, as this medal cabinet grows and grows?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm lucky that now I've been in my current setup in Italy for 3 years. I've developed such a strong sense of self that it's impervious to any change or attack from anyone else. So I feel pretty comfortable and confident in who I am, and I'm lucky to have such a good team around me that encourage that as well. My coach is young, and my training group is fairly young, so we all have a lot of fun every day.
Talking of change, though, obviously Olympic medals in the relays, but to have that individual World Championship outdoor 200 meters silver medal, does that bring a mindset change to you when you step back onto the track in the next season?
I think the mindset change maybe happened throughout the course of the last season. So now that we're entering this new season, I'm much more embedded in it. But I think I would do interviews last year, and people would think I was incredibly cocky when I said that I could medal, or I could beat certain people, or I knew how to run a certain race in order to beat a certain person. But all those things were true. I will never tell a lie. I think that confidence is just a bit more easily expressible now. Whereas I always had that confidence, but it was more intrinsic. But now it's a lot more extrinsic, and I can sit here and have this conversation and tell you that off the back of that medal, I'm now much more fully convicted that I am one of the fastest women in the world. And I wake up every morning and think that, and I have to think that. I have to wake up every morning and think I am it. Otherwise, I can't stand on that start line and think that I'm going to win any race. So I have to wake up and think I am the best every day. However, that might sound cocky, but it's not cocky. It's confidence built off results.
And since that medal, have there been any challenges in terms of going to training, having to maintain your training, but everyone wants a bit of a piece of Amy Hunt because she's a silver medalist and she's fun and she's great and people want to see her nails and everything else?
Actually, just got these done for Worlds yesterday. I think there's been a lot of invites that I've had to say no to, but I don't really see it as I don't really say no with any sort of sadness. I truly love my job with my whole heart, body, and soul, and I truly every day wake up with the aim to be great, with the aim to be the best. So for me, if something is fun and it comes along and I have the opportunity to say yes, then that's amazing, and that's a fun little side dish that I get to have. But I want to have the main course. I don't just want to be eating the side dishes. So I think it's quite easy to say no to stuff when you live in a different country. So I found it really, really helpful actually being in Italy, because it's a lot. I can have a very ready excuse to say no to anything. And I think with doing indoors, it's allowed me to be a lot more focused and not get carried away, because silver is amazing, right? But I train to win gold. So it's great looking forward to the next few years and trying to push for that.
Couple more questions before we wrap up then. Looking at your world indoors, there were tiers in Glasgow in 2024. Different type of tiers last time, a couple of years ago. What are we hoping? What are we expecting? What sort of tiers are we going to see this time?
See, this is how I know you watched the vlog the whole way through. But yeah, I'm hoping for tears like in the middle of the track, because if I win a medal, I'm going to be screaming and running around and crying. Which again is so not planned out. I think people are maybe only just starting to realize that I'm an incredibly emotional person. So when I'm crying on camera, it's because I truly wholeheartedly feel these emotions. But yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend, and I think the 60 is always it always pulls up some kind of surprise, and hopefully that's going to be me this weekend. So yeah, I think if you can be, it's a game of confidence and it's a game of nerves, right? Because we all know how to run. We all know how to accelerate. We do blocks all the time. It's just who can be great on that one day, and it's a question of how, because it's so different to practice, right? You can do something amazingly in practice 100 times, but a competitive environment is its own sort of bubble, and it's like, how can you create that magic in that bubble, particularly on that day? So it's how good of a magician you are in that moment, basically.
And the start is so important, isn't it? And
Yeah.
we see them sometimes go right, sometimes go wrong.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of the 60, right? In the moment, it feels horrible. Like for me, at my first World Indoors 2 years ago, I had a horrible race, and I felt like I was the biggest disappointment. But now I look back 2 years on and think it really didn't matter one iota. It didn't matter whatsoever. By the end of that year, I had an Olympic medal, and I'd completely forgotten about World Indoors. So I think it's great to have that focus on the start, but it's also great that the 60 exists as sort of an extra event that's not really real in terms of outdoors. So it allows us to practice on some things without getting too carried away. The season's very short. By the end of this week, I'm done and dusted, and I'm back onto my favorite husband, the 200. So yeah.
Just finally then, on the outdoor season, European Championships at home and a Commonwealth Games at home. Any thoughts at the moment about what you're planning to do?
Yeah, we're trying to kind of wade through that at the moment, because I think with how compressed it is, it's somewhat impossible to double at both of them. I think for me, the focus is maybe slightly more on Europeans. Because it's like a lot closer to where I live. I'm from Newark, so Birmingham's not a million miles away. But also, I think it would be great to do the triple at Europeans. That's really what we're aiming for this year. And the Commonwealth is also super fun, but it's home, but it's also Scotland, whereas Europeans is obviously England. And then we also have the World Ultimate Champs at the end of the year that we're very much aiming for as well. So yeah, we're trying to decide on which events we're doing. At the moment, we're leaning more towards the double at Europeans, and then we'll decide on one event at the Commonwealth. So, but it's still very competitive for me at the Commonwealth.
Oh, well, I will see you in Birmingham, see you in Budapest, maybe Glasgow, who knows, but all the best this weekend.
Thank you so much.
A very happy Amy Hunt speaking to Michael. I mean, both of them, Michael, are in good form speaking to you, but we want to see good form on the track as well, and I think we will.
Yeah, they both seem very contented. It's amazing, isn't it? That interview that I did with Amy Hunt, I was just chatting to her sort of before we officially started, saying I'd been watching her vlogs. And that then takes the conversation in a completely different direction to maybe what we'd planned. I was going to speak to her about Julian Alfred and Dina Rasher Smith, but actually it was just really interesting, as you've just heard there, just hearing about how she thinks she is a good version of herself at the moment, and it's working for her in Italy. She was talking about how important it is just to be genuine, and the fact that she doesn't plan the way she behaves at these meetings. So we know with Amy, you're going to see her maybe pull a pose on the start line. That might be, as I described it, one of those theatrical winks. That's a line I borrowed from the Divine Comedy song, National Express. But it's always the little dances, or it's the little pout to camera. And I said there that actually with the younger generation of fans, that's what they're interested in. That's what they're seeing. They're not interested in the fact that they may have run sub 7 seconds this season, unfortunately. They consume their athletics in a very different way. And Amy, I think, has really tapped into that. And the vlogs is one of the way that she does that. Now, I've heard criticism about Amy Hunt from former British athletes about the way she conducts herself. But Amy, being Amy, has carried on doing what she does, but she has that silver medal outdoors in the 200 meters to back it up. So as far as I'm concerned, if that's what relaxes her and gets her in the right frame of mind and body for the championships, let Amy carry on doing what Amy is doing. And with Jeremiah, really interesting, he says that his training has taken on more of an intense focus now since becoming a dad. because he knows that work is work and home is home. And when he gets home, he just has to be dad because he's got a little boy who's 1 and up on his feet. And if he's like his dad, probably running around pretty quick. And he therefore can't go and do another bit of extra gym or another little extra session. So he has to really concentrate and focus on that training and give it 100%. And they both, I think, come across, as I said, very happy, very content.
And the 60 metres we know is really hard to win. 41 different nationalities, 55 athletes just in the men's 60 metres. That's how tough it is. There's a couple of other Brits, Jodie Smith and Andrew Robertson in action from a British point of view as well. But it shows why, if you can win in athletics, and if Jeremiah can do this again, that he has to be recognised as well up there as one of the best sprinters that we've had, with the Olympic medals he's won as well in a relay point of view.
Yeah, I mean, last season, British, European, world champion. Not many people get to do that in an indoor season. An Olympic relay medalist as well, as you say there. And Amy, of course, has the world championship medal that we've mentioned. She's got Olympic relay medal from Paris too. So, they are both world class. I think sometimes the world indoor championship suffers a little bit from some of the big names not going, prioritizing. But for Jeremiah, he's got 3 things on his mind this year, and that is these championships, the European Championships in Birmingham, the Commonwealth Games where he'll compete for Wales in Glasgow. Amy also has 3 championships on her mind this year. That is these championships. She said, there's going to target the Europeans, although she didn't rule out Glasgow completely. And, if we reflect what Keely Hodgkinson has said in recent weeks, she kind of did rule it out, but now has said that actually she could come back and maybe do the 4x400 meters relay. I think even if she just ran a leg there, that would please the organisers. That would bring the Keely Stardust to the event in Glasgow. But Amy then also is looking at this new Ultimate Championships in Budapest as well. So that is the way they're kind of both planning their year.
Yeah, remember Usain Bolt running the relay in the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, of course, as well. Wasn't literally 2 years after winning that famous Olympic gold in London, but he came and did the relays and added some sparkle, as you say, to an event that we love and looking forward to this coming summer. This is Anything But Footy, our news from the Games coming up as we cover the Olympics and Paralympics and the Commonwealths all the time, not once every 4 years. This is Anything But Footy. In other news from the Games, and we're going to stay with athletics for a bit because at the World 50k Road Running Championships, congratulations to Alex Milne and Niobe Robinson, who won both the individual titles and then led their teams to more gold medal success.
Yeah, we need to get the 50k road race into the Olympics, don't we?
Oh, that's
four gold medals.
That's a long way, that, isn't it?
4 gold medals, though. 4 gold medals. Mr. Coe, Lord Coe, are you listening? Staying with road racing, Joe Wigfield and Alex Bell have secured their places to represent the country at the World Road Running Championships. So they're both going to be in the half marathon event in these World Road Running Championships. Those qualifications came after their performances at the Bath Half Marathon at the weekend. And Alex Bell, actually, I've interviewed her many times because she previously raced on the track and represented Team GB at the Olympics over 800 metres. So a bit of a step up.
That's ridiculous. From 800 to half a marathon. Incredible. Now, whilst the daffodils are out at Anything But Footy HQ and Michael's preparing his Factor 50, we're not quite done with winter sports just yet. The World Figure Skating Championships is to come. Congratulations to Niall Tracy as well, who won a bronze medal in the 1,000 metres at the World Short Track Speed Skating Championships in the last week. And that is Britain's first global medal in short track since 2017 and the first men's individual medal in 30 years.
I messaged him as well and just went, look, congratulations, well done. He just messaged back going, mate, still can't believe it. So there you go. The Women's World Curling Championships are also currently taking place. Team Morrison representing Scotland, fresh from representing Team GB at the Olympics.
More World Indoor Athletics interviews to come later on in the week on Anything But Footy. You'll be able to hear from 2024 Olympic silver medalist Josh Kerr, plus an Anything But Footy debut for a rising star of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That said, she is already an Olympic relay bronze medalist.
Yeah, find out who that is on the next episode. That's what we call in the business a tease. We will find out that on the next one from Anything But Footy. You can always find us across our socials. Follow for all the latest Olympic and Paralympic news there. We need to write a blog. I need to upload my memories, recollections, reminiscences of the Olympics and the Paralympics to our website, anythingbutfooty.com. Remember, you can skip past Cotton Eye Joe as it comes up on the Spotify Olympics music playlist. That is also available for you there. This is Anything But Footy, looking ahead to LA.